Ilhan Omar, once again, tweeted to cancel student loan debt, and it totally backfired, says Forbes. Now, I think the story is funny, and we'll read it, but I got to make a really important point. Right now, there's a big conversation about canceling the student loan debt of people who chose to take out loans and went to school, received a degree which will benefit them for the rest of their lives, and now don't want to pay back the money they borrowed to earn it. I actually agree to a certain extent. I think we should cancel the interest rates and make them paid on the principal. Look, you use the money, you pay it back, but I do think interest rates are predatory. I think the lending practice is predatory, and I think it's jamming up millennials, and they're not buying houses or having kids. But now there's a new bit of information proving Ilhan Omar completely wrong. I'm going to read this, but I want to show you a new study from Bank of America, reported by Fox Business. 1/4 of millennials have $100,000 in the bank. Are we going to give those people 50 grand, Elizabeth Warren? That makes no sense, does it? Millennials are stashing away money for retirement much earlier than other generations, study says. Well, Fox got their data a little bit wrong. It's not so much that 1/4 of millennials have 100K. It's actually a different number. It's 17.2%. I know it's not a big deal, but they got their data wrong, but it's still true. Millennials have a ton of money, okay? Check this out. This is a report from Bank of America tracking the saving habits of millennials. They say more millennials are saving with retirement as a top priority. So I will come back to Ilhan Omar's comments about canceling student debt, but I think it's important for you all to know millennials got some loot. Check this out. They say, as of 2019, 73% of millennials are saving money. That's good, but it does still mean 27% have none. Maybe they're the ones who need that debt relief, right? Of the millennials with savings, 59% have $15,000 or more. That means 43% of all millennials have at least 15 grand in their savings. That's just shy of half. Are we going to give these people free money? You got 15K, you can pay down your debt. And now it gets better. Of the millennials with savings, 24%, this is 2020 data, 24% have at least 100K. So that's of millennials with savings. So 24% of 73, 17.2% of millennials have at least $100,000 in their bank. Why would we give them money to pay off their student loan debt? Now, I know, perhaps it makes sense to say the people with 100 grand in their bank probably don't have debt because they could afford to pay it in the first place. But I don't think just giving a blanket forgiveness of 50 grand like Elizabeth Warren wants to do makes sense, especially when you now have data showing that millennials ain't doing that bad. Okay? Why should we benefit those who have degrees that will last forever, who benefited greatly from this, instead of, poor people who couldn't afford to go in the first place? But let's see what happened with Ilhan Omar. They say it backfired. I don't know if I agree with that. I'm sure she got criticism. But of course, Forbes can't resist that good old clickbaity headline. So it probably backfired to a certain extent. Let's read. Forbes says, Rep. Ilhan Omar tweeted to cancel student loan debt. Then this happened. Here's what you need to know. Then this happened? What this happened? This article's probably going to be bad. Omar tweeted, what dreams would you be free to go after if your student debt was canceled? Share with the hashtag cancel student debt. Let me stop you right there, Ilhan Omar, and I'll tell you a story. What dreams could you go after if you didn't choose to go after your dreams? Okay, wait, hold on. I know that's unfair. Maybe you didn't go after your dreams. Maybe you were pressured by your parents and society to take on these loans and go to school to get a degree you didn't need and you can't use. Okay, that I can understand. From that point of reference, sure. The problem with canceling student debt is that you still receive a massive benefit from having any degree. Look, at a certain point, I think our society needs to recognize college degrees are worthless. I certainly don't value them. They don't prove anything. In fact, I think college degrees are a massive net negative to an individual. Let me tell you something. If you tell me you're 22 years old, you graduated from college, and you want a job, you know what you just said to me? For the past 4 years, I've been institutionalized, told what to do at every turn, and just did the bare minimum to get a degree. I'm not going to believe that you actually went above board because you have nothing to show for it but the bare minimum, a degree. Okay, maybe some of you have accolades. I won this award, I won this championship, fine. What do you think's going to happen to me? What do you think's going to happen if someone comes to me and they say for the past 4 years, 22-year-old, for the past 4 years, I was working at Starbucks and I got a promotion and a raise and I have all this money saved up. I'm going to say, well, There's someone who took initiative, got into the nitty gritty, did a job most people probably would frown upon, saved money, moved up. That's real world experience. Somebody who has a degree, they're just telling me, someone told me what to do every day and I did it. That's not a good employee. I'm sorry. You know what makes a good employee? Someone who is forward thinking and can solve problems before they come up. I don't want someone to come to me and say, hey, the water is leaking. What do I do? I fix it. How? No, I need you to figure that out. Why would I hire someone to say, like, book my travel if they didn't know how to book my travel? That's literally what you get with these degrees. People who only know how to do what you tell them. But when I hire someone, I'm hiring someone who knows how to do a thing I don't. Let's say I need a video editor, right? I'll be like, who knows how to edit videos? If I hired someone who said, just tell me how to do it, I'd be like, what? It literally doesn't make sense. I need someone who knows how to do it already. But anyway, let's read how it backfired. I say, as expected, Twitter users responded with how their life could change with the prospect of student loan debt forgiveness. Quote, buy a house, get my teeth fixed, and start saving for retirement. Yes, because you're making substantially more than the average person with a degree, and you got to pay it back. That's what they don't get. The people who have degrees make higher salaries. Unfortunately, some of that has to go back to paying off your student loans. So, yes, you could buy a house from benefiting from a free degree. Now, of course, the left starts saying that's why college should be free. You don't think about these things, do you? Let me just lay it out for you. What do you think happens if you take a university? Let's say the university can fit full occupancy, 50,000 students in the building, in the main, let's say the whole university campus. If you add up the occupancy of every hall and every room, you get, let's do this, 100,000 people. Let's say it's a big university, I think. When you open it up to everybody, do you think standing shoulder to shoulder to listen to one person is going to be a comfortable learning experience? Or do you think the university is going to say, we're not going to allow everyone in, so if it's free, you don't get to come? All you're doing is removing the gate so that it's first come, first serve. And that doesn't necessarily make sense. There's got to be some meritocracy involved. Otherwise, you'll get people just squeezing their way in, exploiting the system to get that seat, taking it away from someone who might actually deserve it. Scholarships make sense, right? Finding underprivileged people or people who might not be able to afford it and helping them because you think they deserve it. And there are a lot of these things. And guess what? Paying for the service. So the idea is basically make the public pay. But if the public paid for literally all college, we'd have to expand every single university to accommodate like 10 times more people. Now, again, I know the left says, so Tim, you're basically saying you're okay with some people not getting access to an education? Yes, I am. Because someone has to teach and the space has to exist. I'd prefer it if everybody got access to a good education. I don't think colleges give a good education. But for the most part, there is limited space. There is limited heat, electricity, and labor to teach these kids. That's why you must pay for it. If you do what they want with this free college stuff, all you're doing is basically saying we're randomizing. It's a lottery ticket. Good luck. Yeah, I'll tell you what, maybe that would be a good thing. Because college, I think, is a net detriment in a lot of ways. Now, if you want to go to a university and do research, you want to be a scientist, you want to be an academic, that makes sense. I'm talking specifically about someone going to school for like music business. You want to work in music business? Go get a job at a bar in the venue and start booking some bands. Don't go to school and pay tons of money to learn from somebody who's not even working at a venue. Okay, I know we're supposed to read how this backfired, so we should do this. They said, here's an example from various Twitter users. One person said, in this country, if one takes on debt, it is one's responsibility to pay it back, not one's neighbor or workmate or a complete stranger. To do otherwise is to teach irresponsibility. Someone said, I already worked my butt off and saved to pay down my student loans. I refuse to now pay for the loans of others. Let's hit that argument. Someone posted this funny meme. It is funny. It's the trolley problem. You know the trolley problem? There's a train coming and the track forks. On one is one person, the other is 5, and the train is headed towards the 5. Will you pull the lever, killing the one person to save the 5? It's the famous philosophical question. What they did was they had behind the train was 5 dead people. In front of the train was 5 people and a fork with no people. And the argument was you can save these 5 people, but because these 5 people are already dead, it makes no sense. That's a stupid argument. Funny meme. But here's what they're missing. No one is saying, well, some people are saying this, but the idea isn't just because one person paid off their loans, we shouldn't pay off someone else's. We're saying if you use tax money to pay off someone's loans, the person who already paid their loans is now spending tax money to pay off your loans and you didn't pay for them. Why should I, who have no debt, pay for you who took on a debt and benefited from it? You know what I could do? My dream would be, what dreams would you be free to go after if your student debt was canceled? I don't have student debt. So I'll tell you, my dream would be to not have to pay for people who got a major benefit and don't want to pay it back. Even though I agree we should terminate the interest rates and allow them to pay it back without accruing more on the principal. Because I've seen people go underwater with these things and it's impossible to pay it back. I think we need to figure out how to end the predatory lending and solve this problem. But let me slow this one down and wrap it up. More importantly than any of this, Millennials got cash, bro. I'm not interested in hearing your argument about giving money away to people who got money already. So I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment's coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. We do this new show, Timcast IRL, every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Come hang out. It's more conversational, and I will see you all there.